All right, now we are back to our presentation portion of today's meeting, and we have Cherie Clark-Moore from Body and Brain in Conroe, and you're going to be teaching us a little bit about the fabulous healing modality that you practice in your center.
Yeah, thank you so much, Susan. Like I said at the beginning, it's a real honor to finally be able to make one of these meetings, and I really am appreciative and grateful, Susan, for you inviting me to come on as a speaker today. I know there's so many wonderful modalities, so I hope that I can keep coming back and learning more. You know, it's so intriguing. Even just our group today, I've already kind of learned so much and thought about so many different things already. Today I wanted to share with you a little bit about our techniques at Body and Brain Yoga and Tai Chi. We're actually a Korean practice, and we've been in the States now for about 45 years. We have over 100 centers actually around nationally, which is a real amazing feat in this day and age to have so many centers around the US. And I opened my center, I have my 3-year anniversary coming up in December. But today I wanted to share with you a little bit about who I am and where I came from and how I kind of got into this work, and then hopefully give you a little bit of a taste for what we do. So today I'm going to be talking about that body and brain connection and why I believe it's not as simple as just being able to think yourself into a higher state of consciousness or into your highest self. So I am a big advocate of you have to get your body involved. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. But firstly, let me introduce myself. I thought I might just do that through some pictures here. So I'm originally from Australia, as is my husband. But we haven't actually lived there since 2002. He's in the oil and gas industry, so we've moved a lot. We've had a lot of transition in our lives. This is our 8th country, and my girls were born in Dubai, and they lived in Oman, and now we live here, and they're 8-year-old twins, Maya and Zoe. And actually, when we moved here 6 years ago, that's when I started my journey with body and brain. When I arrived in the States, I think the best way I can describe myself is I was incredibly detached from myself. My physical condition was not in great health. I had so much stress that it was really affecting my gut and my digestion. That also led into depression, so I was on depression medication as well. And I just felt very numb. Life felt kind of meaningless and very dull. You know, even looking around, I couldn't really see colors. I couldn't feel emotions very much at all. So I was really looking for something, and I had done yoga on and off in different countries with different teachers, and I'd really enjoyed it. So I thought, well, let me get my body moving. I knew that was an important step. So I happened to meet actually Maureen at the farmer's market in Grogan's Mill, which was pretty amazing. And the next day I went in and met her and did a class. She did an intro session with me, and I did a class. And actually from the moment I walked into that center, I knew that this was exactly what I was looking for. This wasn't the place that you were just walking in and taking your group class and walking back out. This was really a home for growth and nurturing and healing, and that everyone who was there was also part of that journey as well. So I felt immediately welcomed, and actually in the first class I could feel myself again for the first time in many years. Yeah, and I had tears and emotions that I hadn't felt for many years. So I knew that this was kind of the place for me, even though at the time I didn't really understand what was going on and why. So now, like I mentioned before, I started at the Woodland Center with Master Maureen, and then she encouraged me to keep going and keep growing, and then she actually really encouraged me to open my own center in Conroe. So like I said, the center's been open now coming up 3 years. So at the actual physical location, we do group classes, yoga and Tai Chi, but I also do a lot of energy healing work and private sessions as well. And all of our practice is based on energy. So being able to feel energy in your body, being able to use energy well for your physical manifestation, for being able to control or manage emotions and circumstances, and being able to connect to that higher self as well. So you can see here a few different pictures. During COVID, we've kind of branched out as well, and I've always done outdoor classes, but more so now because of social distancing. And then I do outreach classes. So in the bottom left there, I'm at Magnolia High School with their track team, which was really wonderful. I do every 2 weeks, I go out with the high school students and help them kind of release all the stress and tension from their bodies and their minds, and it's really amazing. And the top picture up there is actually at my girls' school, so I go in and teach the little ones there. My girls are the oldest in their school, so I think we have the youngest is about 4 or 5, and then up to about 8. So the beauty of body and brain practice is you can apply it anywhere. We also do corporate outreach and many other things. So hopefully that tells you a little bit about who I am and how I kind of got started. But as I mentioned, when I came to the States, I was in not my ideal condition. And I really found that I was asking these questions over and over again. Who am I? Why am I here? What do I want? And I was really lost. You know, number one, I couldn't figure the answer out to these questions. And number two, I was lacking in the physical energy to really try and search for them. So that's why body and brain really helped me at this time to kind of dig in and find a system, a process of being able to kind of uncover the answer to these. So these questions, they come up a lot. I'm not sure if you've ever experienced these kind of questions for yourself. Who am I? Why am I here? And what do I want? You know, this changes during our life as well. So what I learned through my own journey of healing and self-exploration is I learn a lot about the energy system. And I know I'm here with people who are kind of familiar with holistic healing, but I learn a lot about the physical energy system in the body. So I know, Alana, you mentioned that you're a Chinese natural healer, so I know that you know very much about all of these systems. But to me, this was all new. This is like a whole new language when I first started. So I was really thrilled to be able to kind of learn, and really this was intuitive once I started to dig into it. It made so much sense to me that we have this energy system in our body. And then actually how that energy is then this bridge between our physical body and our mind. So for me, this was really transformational. You know, I always thought that my mind and body were together, right? My brain is in my body. I thought that's just where it was. I never actually really understood how far out my brain was. My mind was never connected with my body for many, many years. My tendency was to be a perfectionist, to be thinking, you know, 500 steps ahead, or to be worrying about all the things that were coming up. So my mind was never present. I was never connected with my body. And that's actually what caused my physical condition. The stress and tension, the limited flexibility in my body, my gut issues, my depression, were all caused by this disconnection between my mind and my body. So as I started to, first of all, wake up my awareness of my body, kind of start feeling it again, because you have to kind of be present to be able to feel your body, right? And then to be able to start tapping into this energy. I'd never experienced the feeling of energy in my body before. It was like a whole new world started to open. And then I had a lot of motivation to keep going, actually, because I saw results very quickly in my physical health, and then also, most importantly, my mental health. So for me, this is a really great image that reminds me always that your mind is what we call your consciousness, and there's no limits. It's infinite. It can be anywhere. I say the word Paris. Your mind is in Paris right now, right? It's that it can move anytime, any place, anywhere. But your physical body is so limited, right? This is it. this meat sack that we drag around, right? We're kind of here in this physical body, so we have this disparity, and then in between, it's energy that helps you connect the two. And that is really the gift, if you can have an appreciation of how to use energy well in your body. So this one was really a big transforming point in my life. And then in one of the early trainings I did, Body and Brain, one of our signature workshops is called Finding True Self. And Finding True Self is really about tapping into this power of your heart, the power of your soul, finding or attempting to open the door to find the answers. Who am I and what do I want? And this was the first place that I have seen this levels of consciousness. I'm not sure if you've seen it before, but Dr. David Hawkins, yeah. So people who are kind of in the holistic healing field, I'm sure, are very familiar. But to me, again, when I first saw this, it was really eye-opening, and I started to see how much time I was spending in those lower energy fields. So much guilt, so much shame that had really been carried with me as a burden and as baggage from very early on in my life, and probably even before that, right, as we inherit a lot of those energies from our generations past. So again, this was really enlightening to me. And then I started thinking, well, I want peace, I want joy, I want alignment, I want all these things, and I want to get there now. And of course, it's not that simple, right? And it's not, this presents a kind of linear style, but actually every moment, every day, right, we have pieces of all these different energies within us. So then it becomes our choice and our will to keep focusing. Where do I want to put my focus? So what do I want, right? So when I think, what do I want? I want peace. I want enlightenment. Then that gives me a direction to start heading towards. But if I don't have the direction, I don't know where to head. And then I become very disjointed, very scattered in my energy, and very lost, just floating around with no direction. And then I started to learn a little bit more about how our physical body and our beautiful mind and this energy all starts to work together. So in all of us, we have these kind of shells. Actually, in our practice, we call them the three bodies. So we have our physical body, then we have this energy body, and then right inside we have this beautiful true self, this essence right inside that is unaffected by our emotions and our judgment and our physical environment. And this is the place that we want to get to. This is your pure self. This is where you can be the creator of your life. But we have to kind of dig through some of those layers to get there. And that's the work. That's the part that takes a bit of work and a bit of energy as well. And that's what I really want to talk about today, is how do you start to kind of build that relationship with that true self? How do you even start to know what that is? Sometimes we think we might be there, but are we there or are we not? How do we know? So I wanted to show this little diagram. This was really enlightening to me as I started to go through a lot of the training. You know, I would do all the practices, I would do all the things, but I still found I had so many thoughts, I had so many emotions, so many judgments, so many distractions from outside. And I was getting really frustrated. At that time, I thought that the journey was just going to be linear, that I can just, all right, I start and then I keep going and then I kind of get to a certain point. But actually I started to learn, and I still am every day, because this is a lifelong practice of healing and growth, that as you start to really bring your awareness in your body, it's very natural that all of this stuff that exists inside is displaced. If you imagine like a glass of water and you take a big heavy stone and you put the stone inside, the water flows out. So this water, in this case, the stone, is your awareness, your consciousness coming into the body. And then as you bring your consciousness in, then all the other junk, all of your memories, all of your emotions, all of your thoughts, all of the distractions from outside, they're going to flow out and try and take you out again, take your consciousness back outside. And this is part of the process. So you can imagine as you bring it in, everything's flowing out. And so it can be easy to follow those things. So if you have ever, as you're a beginning meditator or someone who's just starting a mindfulness practice, it can be very hard. So when I work with people initially, they say, I tried meditation, I can't do it. My brain is just too busy. And then that's actually the point. You need to see how busy your brain is. But you don't have to follow all the noise. So this was a big turning point in my journey. Before, I was so attached to my emotions, so attached to my thinking brain, that I didn't know anything else beyond that. I thought that's who I was. I thought I was a depressed person. I thought I was a sad person. I had all these attachments to my emotions and to my thoughts. And then as I stepped away from them and just let them be, actually that's where I could go a little bit deeper to discover that true self. So how do we do it? It all sounds great in theory, right? How do we start living as our truest, brightest selves? And that's where I find the body and brain system really helpful. So we have a system called brain education. And actually Il-Chi Lee is our founder, the Korean man who started this practice. Actually, he started with one person in a park who had a stroke. He was a stroke victim, and he started doing mind-body exercises with him. And then from there, this whole practice grew, which was really amazing. But very quickly, Il-Chi Lee could see that actually the brain is the key. Being able to be the master of your brain can create all the changes in your life. So he created this 5-step program of brain education. And this is what we do in all of our group classes, in all of our private sessions. So just briefly to take you through, the first step here, we call it brain sensitizing. As I mentioned to you, I was so numb when I was, before I started this practice. I couldn't feel my body at all. I couldn't feel the pain. I couldn't feel the issues with my gut. I didn't have any sensitivity, any sensation in that. So the first step is to wake up the sensitizing in your body. Wake up your senses. Learn how to feel your body again. So today, as we did our meditation right at the beginning, I had you tap your fingers, right? That's a very simple way to be able to wake up your senses. I start to feel my body. I'm right here, right now. So all our classes and all our private sessions, we always start with this process. Let's be right here, feel our bodies right now. Then we move on to step 2. So this is called brain versatalizing. So this is being able to create flexibility, not just in your body, but also in your brain. Our brains are creatures of habits. From the moment we're born, all our neural pathways are getting reinforced and strengthened, and all the ones that we're not using are being pruned. So we become kind of stuck in our ways, stuck in our patterns of thinking, stuck with our memories and preconceptions and our past experiences. And they really cloud how we see our lives, cloud our opinions, cloud our interactions, fill us with a lot of judgment based on what we've previously experienced. So this brain versatalizing step is really important. We're going to try and challenge the brain to be moving our body in new ways, to be thinking in new ways, to become aware of our old patterns of thinking. So step 2 involves many different things, but a lot of it is based on neuroscience. So things like crossing your midline, things like using your body in different patterns, moving your body in different ways that kind of challenge your brain coordination and integrate both hemispheres of your brain, really help change the wiring in your brain. Then step 3 here, we call it brain refreshing. This is one of the most important steps in healing, actually. So this for me was where real healing started to begin. So emotional clearing, being able to kind of clear out all the preconceptions, all our past memories and emotions attached with those circumstances, clearing them out, refreshing your brain, taking those pieces out, literally cutting them. And we do that through a lot of different exercises. As I said before, we did tapping of our fingertips, but actually body tapping and really deep meditation is one of the methods that we use to kind of bring us into this refreshing phase. But there are many different exercises also depending on the person. And then step 4, this is the one where we really start to create change in our life. So we've kind of tidied up that energy of all our emotions and all the junk that's stuck inside. You know, we've made our brain a little bit more open to thinking of new ways. We're a bit more familiar. We can feel our bodies by this stage. So now, okay, my brain and my body are more cohesive. They're working together. So that means actually I can take intentional action to start creating change in my life. And then the last one, obviously, mastery, right? Becoming the true creator of your life. Yeah. So even though, again, this is presented in kind of a linear way, it's not linear. We know that healing is never linear, right? We jump up, we jump down, we think we've got it. No, we haven't. Let's go back to step 1. We'll start again. And so this process is always evolving. Yeah, I wish it was as simple as step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wouldn't that be wonderful? But actually life would be pretty boring if it was like that, right? So yeah, so Ilchi Lee created this system, and this has, been such a blessing in my life, and I'm so honored to now be able to share it with others. So I've talked a lot, but words don't really mean too much, right? You can talk and read books until the cows come home, but having your own experience is really meaningful. And body and brain, that's what we really emphasize, right? We're not about theory, we're about doing it. Your experience is your own, and that's what you can truly trust at the end of the day. So I wondered today, can I guide you in just a little exercise? It requires you to stand up, if that's all right. It's not going to be anything too physical, but I'm going to lead you through a vibration exercise. And vibration, as we know, is one of the forms of energy, right? Being able to shift energy in your body. So I'm going to take my screen off again. So this one I really love. I'm going to stand up too. Let me see if I can adjust the camera a little bit here.
Now, Cherie, this used to also be called Dawn Yoga, right?
Correct. Yeah, so obviously, Dan is the Korean word that means energy. So actually it came from there, but as we, adapted to the modern world, we rebranded and called it body and brain. Yeah, so Dan means energy. So everything we do is based around energy. Yeah.
Excellent.
Great. Did anyone have any questions up to this point before we go on to the exercise? Not so far? Great. Yeah, it's better to do something. Okay. So I'm going to have you just stand very comfortably with your feet apart. And I want you, first of all, just to press your feet down. So very simply, spread your toes, push down the balls of your feet, feel your heels. And then from here, we're just going to do a little bit of bouncing on your knees. So gentle vibration. So you don't need to do anything too much. When you first start, you might feel a little kind of uncoordinated or awkward. I want you to let go of those thoughts. And I want you just to bounce and find a rhythm. So you can find a rhythm here and just breathe out. Again, you can just close your eyes if you like. And just let yourself move your body. And I want you to find one of the places in your body that feels a little tense or tight. So for some people it's their neck and shoulders, so I want you to move them a little bit more proactively. Or maybe it's your hips and lower back that are kind of speaking to you. So you can shake them, move them, however you feel. And then just breathe out comfortably. So breathing out. Again, just using your breath to exhale deeply. And then I want you just to kind of shake your hands down by your sides. I'm going to guide you through different areas of your body. So just shake your hands. become aware of your hands and your wrists. And then I want you to shake your elbows. Just shake your elbows. Breathe out deeply. Yeah, you can start to feel already that your awareness is coming into your body. And then you can again move your shoulders, lifting them up and down a little bit more proactively. Again, you can move your head side to side, release that tension from your neck. So here we are in this sensitizing process, just waking up our awareness of how we feel our body. Breathe out deeply. You're doing a great job. Just keep feeling your body. That's all you have to do. Vibrate and shake. Good. Now just let your vibration just become very even. Just let it be softer. Let it be gentle. And as we go through, I want you now to begin focusing on the top of your head. So feel the top of your head as you gently bounce. And I want you to feel the scalp, the skin of your scalp. And imagine that that area gets soft. And it starts to open up. So just feel the top of your head softening and opening. And as you breathe, I want you to imagine that you're drawing in your breath from the top of your head. And then as you do, now I want you to bring your focus into your brain. So in your mind's eye, I want you to see your brain inside your skull. And as you do, just gently let this vibration swirl around your brain. So you can imagine like a bright light or energy vibration swirling around your brain. And just breathing out any stuffiness in your brain. You can even send that energy and this vibration into areas of your brain that feel pressure or tightness. Anywhere that you feel blockage. So just keep bouncing and then swirl this energy, vibration around your brain. And now bring that down. Bring it down to the base of your skull and your jaw. I want you to feel this area and just let it relax. So as you gently vibrate, let the base of your skull go soft. Imagine everything just oozing down. Like you've opened the floodgates from your brain and all the pressure, all the tension is just sliding down your spine. Just breathe out and let everything go. And even from here, you might even feel your shoulders starting to relax, the sides of your neck starting to relax, your arms getting heavier. Everything just starts to drip out your fingertips. So any of that tension, any of that heaviness in your body, anything that you're holding tight, just let it drip out your fingertips. And now coming down to the base of your throat, I want you to feel that area and feel your throat. So this can be an area that gets constricted, this fifth chakra. So I want you to feel, what do I feel inside? And as you vibrate and as you breathe out, just let this area soften. Let it relax. Good. And now come down in your mind's eye to your heart, the physical heart. And as you're bouncing, I want you to shake your heart. And go inside your heart here. Again, feel for any tightness, any kind of shackles, any bands that are making your heart tight. And send this shaking vibration into your heart. See if you can stir up, break off any of those constrictions. Just allow yourself to feel what's in your heart and just shake, letting go of any of that tightness. And now I want you to bring your focus into your lungs. So as you shake your lungs, please see them in your mind's eye, under your rib cage. And as you breathe, see if you can expand your lungs. And actually your lungs, they hold on to the energy of sadness. They hold on to grief, despair. So try and bring your mind in. If there's anything there that you find, you can just vibrate, shake it out, especially at the bottom of your lungs. Try and shake those lungs to open them and let your lungs expand. Good. Now coming down to the diaphragm area, the solar plexus chakra. And I really want you to feel that band. Sometimes it feels like a tight trampoline. But I want you to go in there, shake that vibration into that area and see if you can allow it to soften. Letting go of all the expectations we have of ourselves. All those things that we feel are being placed from outside onto us. And see if you can make this area very soft. Just bringing the vibration in. Open up this solar plexus chakra. And now actually we're going to go into your organs. So on your left side here, under your rib cage is your stomach. I want you to picture your stomach inside your body. Again, sending the vibration inside. And your stomach loves to hold on to worry and anxiety. So go inside, see what you can find. Without any judgment or attachment, just shake and see if you can soften and open and bring energy into your stomach. You're doing a great job. And now let's go the right side. This big liver, big organ. So in your mind's eye again, please picture that organ. And your liver loves to hold on to all of that frustration, all of the anger energies. Even those times that you might bite your tongue, or maybe not say exactly what you mean. This gets stored in your liver. So go inside again. Take a little visit to your liver. And just shake out any of the heavy, tight energy here. See if you can let your liver become soft. You can even imagine the edges of your liver becoming round and plump. Just letting go of all of that tightness inside. Now let's move our attention to our kidneys in your back. So shake those kidneys. So they're kind of above the hip bones, below the rib cage, in that soft area either side of your spine. And shake them, letting go of any doubt or fear. Your kidneys actually can be a great source of courage. So see if you can vibrate them, shake them up, releasing the tight, cold energy that might be stored there. Make them warm, make them plump. Wherever that mind goes, the energy is going to follow. So send your mind into your kidneys. Great. Now coming down to your intestines. Please picture them again in your mind. So when we feel uncertainty, when we feel unsafe or insecure, our intestines get very tight. So you can imagine the coils of your intestines. I want you to shake them until they become soft, like velvet ropes. So just let them bounce joyfully inside your abdominal cavity. And then let's bring this vibration down. So keep feeling your body as you come down now to that root chakra, the perineum area. And then all the way down your legs, connecting to the earth. And here just allow everything to travel out and into the earth. You can feel that fresh flow of energy coming down through the top of your head. And any stagnant, tight energy, you just release, surrender it to the earth through your feet. And just feel the support of the earth, always there, always with you. And heaven's blessings, heaven's energy, pure energy coming down. Good. And now if your eyes are closed, keep them closed and just slowly stop. Here I want you just to stay in the feeling of your body. You might notice tingling and vibration. Maybe you notice areas that still might be holding on. Maybe you feel more warmth in your body. And now here, take a deep breath in and out. Again, breathe in and out. This time let's use our arms. So breathe in, lift up your arms all the way. And exhale, bring them down in front. Let's do that one more time. So breathing in and out. Great. And then just take a moment, sweep down your body as you sweep off any of that last remaining old energy you can imagine as you sweep even down your legs. And then shake your body a little bit. Very good. And then come and take a seat. And I'd like to ask if you are willing to do a little bit of sharing about your experience. Susan, may I ask you?
Well, I've been doing these body and brain techniques for several years, ever since we moved to Texas and we discovered body and brain. And I just think it's just a miraculous modality, and I still feel my hands tingling. My whole
Mm,
body actually is tingling because of the increased circulation
mm,
and the energy clearing that we do with each one of the chakras. So I just
mm.
love that feeling of energy movement and vibration in my fingers, especially in my hands.
Right. Yeah, you can feel a lot of energy right now, right? Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you, Susan. Ayana, can I ask you your sharing?
Not me.
Yes, Alana.
Um, so I found it fascinating. I wasn't feeling like my jaw was tight, but when
Mm,
you said like look at your body and whatever, so all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, it doesn't feel tight
mm,
here, so I'm like, I better open it. Um, and then the shaking, it was like when I was, well, halfway through I was drinking tea, so I had to pee, so it was a little bit uncomfortable, like halfway, like the halfway. I was a little bit conscious of the fact that I had to pee, but aside from that, when I stopped, it's like I felt like a buzz, like a like a like a little bit more than a tingling, like actually, I don't know, buzz. I just think like a sort of like something moving, and it was it took a while to sort of it stopped now, but it took a while to stop,
mm.
and yeah, it was nice to sort of just be aware again that I have these places in my body because I never think of unless something hurts, I don't think about it.
Right. Yeah, actually, that's the exact point, right? We don't pay any attention to our body unless it's screaming at us. Yeah, so body and brain, we really try and emphasize build back the relationship with your physical body. Yeah, really build that connection so that then you're the only one that can do your own healing, right? So without knowing yourself, which includes your physical body, it can be very difficult to make the changes that you want. So that's a great awareness. Thank you so much for sharing, Alana. Yeah. And Thea, can I ask for your
Yeah,
sharing?
it was very relaxing because I know when I first came in here, I was rushing around because I was a little late and everything. And by the end of that, I was actually yawning. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't putting me to sleep. Not that it was boring, I mean, but it was like I was like really relaxed. But
Mhm.
an interesting thing I thought of, well, when you're focusing on all the different organs of your body, it's very positive because like what you say, we only focus on the stuff that's not working right, like the thing that hurts, right? And so that can get you very depressed, right? Just focusing on,
Yeah.
like, oh, my shoulder hurts, or oh, my foot hurts, or whatever. And
Right.
you're like your whole focus can become about this body part that's hurting you, and then you just get into a thing, and with that you say like, but wait, this is working, my kidneys are working, my heart's working, my lungs working, I'm doing pretty good.
Right.
So that's that's what I
Very good
felt when I was
point. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
oh,
wonderful. Actually, I've never heard it explained like that, Thea. Sorry, what
well,
were
the
you
reason
saying?
I'm saying that is because I've been dealing for a year
Mm,
with, it started out as a gym injury in my hip, and they told me it was a pulled muscle, and so I did physical therapy. It didn't help. I've done this and that and the other, and so I finally went back to the doctors, and they're like, well, now we think it's arthritis. So now, so it's like I've been so focused on this one little part of my body, that
right.
lately, that I kind of forget that, oh wait, everything else is fine. It's like, so.
Right. Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you, Thea, for giving us that awareness. I think that's really powerful, actually, because I agree. I have worked with so many people who have had extended pain in their lives or injuries, and that's where their focus is. So they can't see beyond that to different areas. Actually, the next level to that vibration training is saying sorry to your organs. So saying sorry, oh, I'm so sorry, my stomach, I haven't been noticing you. I'm so sorry, please forgive
Sorry
me.
for what I'm eating. Sorry for all
Right.
the right.
Right, because we know what we should do, but sometimes we just are not consciously aware of how we're treating our physical body. End of the day, your physical body is the only home that you have. You know, your physical body is the home of your soul. It's the home of that beautiful, bright spirit inside. Yeah, we kind of use it and abuse it. I mean, you know, we're so lucky to have it, but yeah, when we stop and bring the mind inside, actually, yeah, you can see a lot. Oh, I'm so sorry. I do love you. I really do. Yeah, and then that is how healing starts. And actually, that's how empathy also grows, right? When you feel yourself, when you have deep appreciation for your own condition, then you can really feel empathy for others. Yeah, as you can see, if I am struggling or feeling this way, wow, then so is the rest of humanity, really. You know, we all have these physical meat suits we have to carry around. So, yeah. Yeah, it's very simple techniques. That's what I like about body and brain too. I'm sure you've experienced, Susan. So simple.
Yeah, that's why I like it also. They are very simple but very powerful techniques.
Yeah, nothing, you know, you don't have to learn anything fancy. You don't have to learn a certain sequence of things. You don't have to be overly flexible. None of that. Feel your body, and then naturally the changes come. And then not just your physical body, but your brain. You can feel already just by vibrating yourself. Oh, I feel a little bit more awake. And actually, Thea, when you said you were yawning, that's a great sign, because actually yawning is all that stuffy energy coming out, right? All the stuff that accumulated during the day, that's coming out. And that's really the biggest benefit, right? We call it refreshing. Let it go. You don't need to keep that stuff, right?
I always thought about the body and brain exercises as if they were like oxygenators. My body
Yeah.
felt like it had more oxygen after, after doing
Yeah.
all of the body and brain exercises.
Yeah, actually, a lot of people say, "Oh, I feel so dizzy," and I always say it's because your brain's getting oxygen. Isn't it amazing? Because when our brains are so consumed with all our thinking, they get so tight. You know, you're literally tight. Your blood vessels constricted, so you're not getting blood circulating. You know, so we have to appreciate all aspects of ourselves. That's why when I was designing this presentation, you know, you can't just think yourself into being in a higher state of consciousness. You actually have to do the work. You have to really connect with your body. Otherwise, it's just intellectual knowledge. It's not real. It's not making the changes that you're looking for. That's my belief anyway, and has been my experience. Yeah. So before we end, Susan, I'm just going to share one more thing, if that's okay with you.
Go right ahead.
So I wanted to offer, actually, for this group, let me share this one first. So I love this, you know, Ilchi Lee, he's always sharing his kind of wisdom, which I really appreciate, because I need all the wisdom I can kind of absorb. But I like this one, right? Your true self. It's not limited to your body. It's not limited to your preconceptions or personality. That's your small self. All of that is your small self. So rather, it's a big self that's connected and is one with all things. So when we can kind of come into that vibration, right, let go of the thinking brain, you can feel that sense of oneness and connectedness. And that's actually who we are, right? That's our true nature, beyond all the noise and circumstances around us. And then from that place, I can live my true self. I can live my life that I want to create. Yeah. And then the last one here, I just wanted to put an offer out there. You know, I mentioned before that we do a lot of energy healing work, and at the moment I would love to offer, particularly your group, Susan, a chance to experience kind of a consultation with me and the introductory energy healing session. So this would be a one-on-one session, which can be done online or in person. And then it's $99. So I can extend that to the people who maybe watch the recording as well, Susan. But yeah, if you're
That would
interested.
be fantastic. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, and I can put in here the link. Let me see if I can put it up there.
And I highly recommend this system of healing. It's just absolutely fabulous.
It's been really powerful for me, Susan, and you know, I've seen such dramatic results because it, like we said at the beginning, it's holistic. It's addressing all the pieces of the puzzle, and you're doing it. You're not relying on other people to fix you or heal you, right? You are making the changes inside. Yeah,
You learn the techniques and then you just do them. Yeah.
that's it. Pretty simple. So thank you so much for being willing to participate today with me, and I really am grateful for the opportunity to share. As always, I think, you know, the more that we share, the more that we all grow together, especially as our human consciousness. We need to keep working together and make it as bright as possible.
Absolutely. And that's why it's so wonderful to be able to hear from different practitioners.
Absolutely.
Every week, I feel like as we learn more about different ways to heal ourselves and the ones that we love, we're each taking part in the development of human consciousness.